Yes, people. We're back again right here on the Finished Article, live again on all things football. And today we're bringing you a special episode of the international football covering the two England games against Hungary and Andorra. And obviously, we're going to be previewing the game today against Poland. But before we get into that, I'm going to bring my co-host on. Yes, Shaz, how are we, my man?
What's happening, bro? It's so good. It's a beautiful sunny day. And that means only one thing: international football. We're back, baby.
That's it, bro. International football's back. As you can see, our personal Twitters in the corners, official Facebook and Twitter at the bottom. If you can, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment for the channel. A big shout out to everyone who has already subscribed. We are on the race to 200, so please help us out and hit that target. Before we bring the other host on, I'm going to try to find the other banner. Here we go. We have an official fantasy football league over on the Fantasy Premier League website. Invitation codes below. Get yourself joined. We will be doing the prize later for August's winner. So if you're not subscribed and you think you're at the top, or you know you're at the top, get yourself subscribed so you can get that prize. But without further ado, I'm bringing on the other co-host. Here we go. We've got Rich on with us.
Hi, lads. Hiya, how's things?
Yeah, all good, man. All good. How are you, man?
Yeah, good. Looking forward to watching the game tonight.
Should be looking forward to
it. Game than Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, I think England have won the last two games 4-0, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
tonight, I didn't even slightly challenge.
We've got a couple of comments. I won't bring them up. It's just hello from Idris. I'll bring it up, actually. Idris saying hello to everybody. So I appreciate you tuning in, Idris. Thanks for tuning in again. We'll start off, obviously, with the first game against Hungary. What was everyone's thoughts on the game? I know it was an easy win for England at 4-0, but what were your initial thoughts?
Game was overshadowed by the racist Hungary fans throwing cups, and I thought there's no need for it. I mean, England won as expected. No surprises there.
We did have to be patient because the goals didn't come till the second half. Yeah, but there were a lot of good performances in the England side. I thought Declan Rice had a decent game. So
he did.
Yeah, I remember. Maguire and Stones didn't really have a lot to do. They had a pretty quiet night at the back. So
no, I remember you mentioned to me, Rich, that England will bring it back in the second half, and I think they did well. Let's be honest, they got the job done. It wasn't like a glamorous performance, but you know what? They got the result they needed.
Hungary, I mean, they drew with Germany and France at the Euro, so it was always a potentially tricky one. So we had to go out and be professional, and thankfully we got the job done, as you say.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I mean, was it Jack Grealish who picked up one of the cups and started drinking the beer or something in it?
I think somebody else did it before. I think Declan Rice did it first.
Yeah, I think it was Declan Rice and Jack Grealish. I think they both did it.
Yeah, it was basically a good way of responding back to the fans, and I think Idris has brought up a comment that's quite useful.
Yeah,
Mings also told Sterling, you hear that when he was getting racially abused. Yeah, I think a lot of everybody heard it, even us, the fans. We basically said it was unacceptable. Yeah. But yeah, there's no need for it in football or in any form of life.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think those fans that are racially abusing players should be found and then banned from football for life. That's the only way they're gonna that's the only way they're gonna kick racism out of football, which is the slogan for it. They have to be really harsh on the people that are doing it. No, otherwise, if they're not, they're just gonna keep doing it and they're just gonna keep getting away with it.
Very true, very true. But you know what? Rich's favorite game was obviously the game he went to on the Sunday. I believe it was against Andorra. Tell us, Rich, what was your experience like?
It was very good. I've just got something up in the middle of my screen I'm trying to get rid of, but I think it's on my side of the issue. You can see me, I presume, but I can't see you two. But
we can see you, man. We can see you fine.
Don't worry, mate.
Yeah, it was it was the first England game I'd been to for a while because I used to go quite regularly, and then I stopped going, and then I was annoyed about not being able to get tickets at the Euro, so I just said, you know what, next England game at home I'm going to. I took my other half, who I think she not sure if she wants to come on and chat about her experience. It was her first trip to Wembley.
Oh, was her first trip? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But the game itself, it wasn't a classic. We didn't expect it to be. It's one of them where we've just got to take the win and move on. He changed the whole 11. I don't think Southgate was probably expecting to use the likes of Kane, Grealish, and Mount. But I think second half, when it was only 1-0, he thought he'd be ruthless and bring them on to kill them off. Which there was never any doubt that we weren't going to win that game for me. But while it's only 1-0, you never know. So
you know how funny that the game was. So me and Shaz decided, and I know Rich, you tuned in after. We actually just decided to do a wrestling podcast because it was still 0-0 or 1-0 at that point.
Yeah, it was 1-0, and I'm like, you know what, this game's over.
This game's over. Let's just do a podcast. And I can see Rich in the back. Shaz in the background going, "It's 2-0. It's 3-0."
I was like this. You actually see me on the podcast doing this to Shaz. It wasn't something to do with wrestling. It was just me telling Shaz it's 3-0.
And then obviously you saw Rich's comment on the wrestling podcast. As always, appreciate it.
It's hard to talk about that because it was only Andorra. It's hard to talk about individual performances and say so. But we can only do play against who's in front of us. I thought Lingard did well on the night. Bellingham. I felt a bit sorry for Bamford being dragged off. Because I think he worked hard, he just didn't really get the service. Because when you're making your debut against Andorra, you're probably hoping you can get a goal. Definitely. But a bit sorry for him being dragged off. But I think Southgate was ruthless, and at least we got to see Harry Kane, which from a paying fans' point of view, when you pay to go to the game, you want to see the best players.
Here's a comment from Rich's mate, Darren Cap.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. Who's better, Kane or Lewandowski? I've got my opinion on this, but I'll let you lot talk about this first.
Well, we might find out. We might find that one out tonight.
That's a question for a postman. But you know what? In my honest opinion, I have to say, based on what we've seen, I would say Lewandowski, based on his European exposure. Harry Kane really hasn't really done it for Tottenham at European level much.
Kane's won a World Cup Golden Boot.
That is true. That is true. So that's one thing. But
I mean, I've got my opinion on this, right? And I've heard other people talk about this. Now, I believe Lewandowski is top 1 or 2 strikers in the world right now, and Harry Kane doesn't come close to him. I'm sorry to anyone that doesn't obviously agree with that, but that's my take on it, because Lewandowski's done it all. I mean, he's won the Champions League, he's won the Bundesliga a couple of times. I think he hasn't won a Euro or World Cup, has he, with Germany? No. With Poland, sorry.
No, he hasn't won anything international level, no.
Right. And obviously, I think it's just because of the team he's at, the country he's at, Poland. They're not a big team, and I think he's the best player, in their team.
I called it. He's called it now. He's expecting an ass whooping. Poland going down.
What did I say to you before the start of this, Shaz?
So, to reiterate for you, Rich, Shaz thinks that Poland are going to win 4-0. I told him he's talking out of his ass.
I don't think it'd be 4-0. I would actually, in some ways, I would take a draw tonight, though.
I'd be happy with an England draw tonight, because Poland are a tough team, especially when they've got Lewandowski. Sorry, go ahead, Rich. Sorry.
In terms of the group standings, a draw would be a very good result for England. A win, we're almost there, because 8 points clear with still San Marino and Andorra to play. But if we were to lose tonight, it would open the group up a lot.
Mm-hmm. So there's a couple of comments here as well. From Idris saying Kane is not top 10 best strikers. Definitely not. I wouldn't even put him in my top 10. Probably not even my top 20, to be fair. I just don't like Harry Kane.
My only criticism of Kane is he tries to do a bit too much sometimes.
Yeah, he does. You're right.
Round when you want him to be in the box, and he tries to cover every blade of grass.
I don't know if anybody knows this next comment from Darren. Lewandowski nearly joined Blackburn Rovers under Big Sam. This was back when, I don't know if you remember, do you know when the big ash cloud was stopping flights?
Yes, I remember. Yeah, he was.
So Lewandowski was due to fly to Lancashire to sign for Rovers, and he couldn't because of the ash from the volcano. then the deal never materialized after.
That was about 11 years
imagine
ago.
that.
Yeah,
it was quite a while
2010
back.
that was doing it.
It was quite a long time back because I think Rovers were still in the Premier League at the time.
Yeah, they went down in 2012.
Yeah. So it's been at least 10, 12
That's
years now at
team,
least. Crazy that. I mean, crazy to lose a player because of Ash Cloud, innit? That's just crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is.
So what's everyone's predictions for today's game for Poland and England?
I'm going to say 2-1 England. My missus, who's sat right next to me at the moment, she's saying 1-0 England.
Okay, cool.
So, I'm going to go 1-1. I think it'll be 1-1.
What's that?
I'm going with a Lewandowski hat-trick tonight.
So you're saying
that's my only prediction. I'm not saying England are going to lose. I'm just saying Lewandowski scoring a hat-trick, whatever the score is.
Okay.
I'll say 2-1 England, but I'll say Kane and Sterling. It's not a particularly obscure prediction. It's pretty standard, but
yeah. No, standard, man, standard. I mean, so Idris is putting his top 10 strikers in order right now in the comments. So I'll let him finish and then we'll go through them. But Darren's made his prediction of 3-0 England, Sterling, Kane, and most overrated England, I'm guessing, player Grealish. That's
Darren.
I agree with that on Jack Grealish being overrated. Definitely. Shaz knows my thoughts on that, don't you, Shaz?
Yeah, I do.
So there's a lot of names just popped up here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So I'm going to bring these names up of strikers. I'm guessing these are, I don't know if they're in order, but these are Idris's top 10 strikers right now. So Immobile, Italian striker. Your thoughts on him? I'll bring them all up and I'll ask your thoughts on all of them, man.
Immobile, he's okay, but I don't know whether he's number one. I don't know if he's done this 1 to 10.
No, he's just put a comment saying it's not in order. These are just top 10 in his eyes.
Okay.
Immobile is a decent striker. Then we've got our big man Ronaldo. I mean, I won't disagree with him being in anyone's top 10.
Ronaldo is he talking about? Cristiano or the original?
I'm guessing it's Cristiano, but I mean, the Brazilian Ronaldo, I'd still give him a shout for top 10. Probably greatest strikers. Not right now, because obviously he doesn't play. What are your thoughts on Ronaldo, Rich, coming back to United and then as a striker?
Yeah, I think he's still got it. To be honest, he'll probably still be the best player in the division.
100%. I've said that to everybody.
37.
36, 37-year-old, still killing it, showing these youngsters how it's done.
No, that's true.
Now we've got next striker, Lewandowski.
Yeah, we talked about that.
We've already talked about him. I think, to me personally, he's top 2 strikers in the world. I don't know who to put with him. And we've got our young lad here, Haaland.
Yeah, he's up and coming. He's
I don't know right now if I put him in top 10.
Probably say he is.
You know what? I probably would just because of the amount of goals that he scored for Dortmund.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, carry on. Go
through the other names. We've got Silva. I'm not sure which Silva he's referring to. So I can't really comment on that one. Aguero, 100%. Aguero will be in my top 5.
Yeah, Aguero is sick, but
I mean, even before he went to City, I always rated Aguero. The only fact about Aguero I don't like is that he played for City and he scored that winning goal against QPR on the last day of the season for City to win. I absolutely hate him for that, but still rate him as a player.
Next one, I don't think is a striker, actually. He's a midfielder.
So what are your thoughts, Shaz, on Aguero?
Yeah, one of the top 5 greatest Premier League strikers. I wouldn't put him top.
Not just Premier League, though, but worldwide.
Yeah, well, he didn't win a Champions League, so I can't call him the greatest ever. But that's a different story. But yeah, top-notch, great striker.
Yeah.
Man City's all-time leading scorer now? Did he break Man City's record, did he? Yeah.
He did, I think he did. Scoring record. Yeah, man. Next, sorry, just the Silva, you're saying it's the guy from Leipzig. So that's the Silva he was referring to as a striker.
I don't know much about that.
I don't know much about him. The next one, I'm not 100% sure if
he's not a striker. He's a midfielder.
striker. I'm sure he's a midfielder.
He's a midfielder.
So we're not going to accept that as an answer. Sorry, Idris. He's not a striker. I think he's more of a midfielder or attacking midfielder. But next we'll move on to Lautaro Martinez. I'd rate him.
He's good striker.
And then obviously he's put in and Lukaku. I don't want to talk about Lukaku right now. I don't want to talk about Lukaku right now.
Oh dear. Darren's got it right.
Sorry, I missed this comment from Darren earlier. He said rubbish at the Euros. I don't know if that's Ronaldo or.
I think he was referring to Lewandowski.
Well, you could actually refer to Lewandowski and Ronaldo because they both didn't have a good Euro, did they?
Yeah. they both scored a few.
Yeah. I think they were relatively quiet. I don't think they had the great Euro, but he's saying Immobile was for Italy.
Okay, yeah.
That's fair.
But you know,
I don't know who his player is. Super Matty Godden. Is he a Sky Blue player?
Of course he is, bro.
I thought so. you Sky Blues lot stick together, don't you?
Exactly. Nice.
Big Romelu is the king of Belgium. Like I said, I don't really want to talk about Lukaku.
We've gone from international football.
I don't really want to talk about Lukaku, to be fair. I'll let you lot talk about Lukaku if you want to talk about him, because
no.
I don't mind you talking about him.
We're talking about
the wounds are still there from Lukaku, man.
Let's leave Lukaku for another episode, but I appreciate.
Let's let the wounds heal from that one first before we bring him up. Man.
Exactly. But anyway, going back on topic, England are playing Poland in 25 minutes. I think it should be an interesting game. I think it'll be 1-1. So Kane will go get a goal, and you know what? Shaz loves him so much. I'll give Lewandowski the other goal.
I'll give him Poland's
goal.
You're
going with 1-1.
Yeah, I'm going 1-1.
Oh. Yeah, I know you did, Idris. He's just put a comment saying, I did that just to piss you off.
Wow, that's fine, mate.
Yeah, cheers, bro. I appreciate that. I appreciate the love always, man.
Exactly. You can't piss Shaz off. It takes a lot more to piss Shaz off.
It takes more than that to get me riled up, man. But me and Shaz had a bit of a debate last night on Fight Night.
Oh, we had an interesting debate.
We had a really interesting one. If you've not caught it, that episode is actually I'm uploading it to YouTube as we speak. I'm just waiting for it to finish.
And there will be a part 2 on that. So don't worry.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a part 2 on that, Shaz, because I've got issues with what we've had issues after that, haven't we, Shaz? But we had some issues yesterday.
I would call it mutual disagreements. That's what I call that. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll call it that. We agreed to disagree, innit?
That's fine. But anyway, Richard, do you want to bring Kirsty on? Does Kirsty want to jump on?
Do you want to come on and chat about your Wembley experience?
Yeah, might as well.
All right, just give me a sec, guys. I'm going to jump off for a minute. I'll be back in a couple.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll take over.
You take over, and I'll be back in a couple.
Yeah, no worries.
No, I've never done this before.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How's things?
Good.
You managed to put the little one to sleep?
Yep. Fast to sleep.
Nice. No, I just thanks for jumping on. Just so I'd get your thoughts on the England game on Sunday, and what was your experience of Wembley?
It was good. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot easier than I expected. We had great seats for the money we paid. We were on the side of the pitch, so we could see the whole pitch, both goals. I mean, I managed to get my camera and I could zoom in. I managed to record Kane's penalty.
Yeah, Richard.
Coming out.
Got a great picture of Emil Heskey as well.
Yeah, the back of his head.
I couldn't tell who it was on the picture, so Rich shared it with me, and I was like, I can't tell who this is. I was like, John Barnes. No, it's not John Barnes. But now, Kirsty, so does that mean you're going to go to more England games?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I loved it.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing is I need to get my own membership so I can get my own caps rather than giving to everybody else.
Nice. That's glad. As long as you had a great time. I mean, what do you reckon in your prediction for tonight?
I reckon we'll just clinch it. I reckon it'll be 1-0. I think it'll be very difficult, and I think it'll be the hardest game we've done. But I think we'll just clinch it. I mean, the one on Sunday, at first it was really boring and it was quite methodical. It was very just to and fro. And then when he changed them and he brought on Kane and Grealish and Maguire, was much faster paced. You could see the difference in the team. You could see how much quicker they work and how much better they work together. Andorra were quite, I can't think of the word. They seemed to go down a lot and like claim.
Yeah, it was kind of an expected result. It was just a case of if not when. I mean, when not if. It was just one of those. But that's great that you had an awesome time. Nice. So Rich is going to be getting Kirsty's pass soon as well, and she's going to be accumulating and becoming a legend. And it's coming home in 2022. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. But thank you. Nice one. Thank you, Kirsty.
No worries. Right, I'm going to jump off and let Mr. Home back. See you later.
Take care, Kirsty. See you soon.
Oh. Yeah, like Kirsty said, it was a bit of a damage limitation exercise for Andorra. And I think they were going down and doing what they needed to.
You know what? To their credit, they did well to keep it down to 4-0.
Yeah.
Because on any other day, England would have done what Poland did to San Marino and beat them 7-0. So,
San Marino got a goal, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Oh, that was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. I was like, he did a back pass, and I was like, please don't do that. But, more of that tonight. More of that tonight, Poland.
I think Andorra, credit to them, because they actually forced Southgate into bringing on them 3 subs, Kane, Grealish and Mount, which I don't think he would have been wanting to do before the game.
I was saying to Shaz when we saw the lineup that lineup should have easily beaten Andorra. There was no need for him to bring the big guns on. Okay, fair enough, they did the job, but we need to learn to be a bit more clinical. But you know what? We can't win them all. Can't argue them all.
Yeah. One thing I noticed is because Kane was the starting lineup, they gave them all the 1 to 11 shirts, and like Kane actually wore number 20, so they made him a special shirt with 20 on just for that one game. You'd think they just give them squad numbers, get everyone squad numbers just for them 3 fixtures rather than having to.
Rich, I've got a comment from Darren. I don't know if you can see the screen. But he says, did you go watch the Spinks versus Cov under 23s? I know it's a separate topic, but
no. What was the score in the end?
That's a good one. I don't know if you saw. Darren, can you fill us in on the score? But I appreciate the level.
I am hoping to go and watch it will be our under 23s when we play away in Birmingham Senior Cup in a few weeks. I'm not sure the date of that, but when we play away
5-3.
I did see it now. But it raised a bit of money for charity, didn't it?
Absolutely. But as always, we're going to leave that for all things Sky Blues on Saturday. So let's not divulge too much onto that. But Rich, any final thoughts before we clock out for the evening?
Yeah. Well, would like a win tonight because I want us to maintain the 100% record. But really, it's must not lose. I think avoid defeat tonight, and we have 1 foot in. We have one foot in Qatar. So
yeah, I was going to say. So if they win tonight, they got 8 points clear. And if they draw,
8 points clear, 4 games to go, and we still have 2 of them 4 games are against San Marino and Andorra. So
even better.
Whereas we lose, it does open it up a little bit. I still think we'll qualify even if we lose, but it does open it up. Hungary and Albania, they're not formalities. The games you expect us to win, but they could cause us problems if we have an off night. So.
No, very true. I agree. But guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate the love and support, and I appreciate the comments from Darren and Idris. As always, keep those comments and love coming in. Rich, thank you very much for yourself and Kirsty jumping on. Great to have you on. So I'm gonna leave you to it because I know you guys need to get off and get to watch the game. But we will touch base very soon. But as always, guys, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. As Shaz has said before, we are on the race to 200. So you know the drill, guys. Share this on your social media feeds, and we'll be doing a prize draw for the fantasy football. So Adam Mottershead, if you're watching, you know the drill, mate. I hope he is. But Rich, pleasure. Have a good evening, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, it's coming home.
It is coming home in 2022.